will walk you through how we can apply VLOOKUP in Excel. As you can already see here, I've mentioned the VLOOKUP formula, and as you can see, it takes four values, and we'll shortly understand what these four values mean. So first let's understand the data. As you can see, we have two data sets here. One is on the left, data one. It contains store and its corresponding sales, while data two on the right contains ID, some primary key mainly. Another is store again store ID, and third one is its corresponding type, store type. Now let's what we are going to do is against each of the store in data 1 we are going to bring stores type from the data 2. So let's get started. First let's take so as you can see VLOOKUP takes first value as lookup value. So what lookup value is, it is a value which we are going to search for. So as we already know, we are going to search for store in the data 2. So our first value, lookup value, will be store ID. Next option, as you can see, is table array. It means we have to pass the entire data uh, which we are going to in which we are going to look up for a value, and also the value of and also the values which we are going to bring over here. So let's select the range here. As you can see here, we have three columns here. We can select the entire range, but that is not how it works actually. The first column should always be the column in which we are going to search for a lookup value. So I can select multiple columns, more than uh, one definitely here, but first column will always be the one in which we will search for our lookup value. So in our case, it should always be store ID. I can never select ID, then store and type. It should always be store ID, its type, and some other uh, values or columns. So here I am selecting store and its type all the way to the bottom. Then third value, as you can see here, is the column index. So the column index is starting from 1, which is assigned to the store ID. We count up to which column, or the index of the column for of which we have to pick the value of. For example, in the range we have selected, first column is store, second column is type, and since we have to pick the values of each store from the second column, which is type, we will paste 2 here. So it is telling lookup to pick the second column for from this range of data. And next value is a range lookup, which is an optional parameter. It tells the value we are searching for, the lookup value, whether to allow it to match partially, or to find a exact match. So how partial works, we'll see it later. But for now, let's focus on exact match. So we will type here as false now. So as you can already see, we have got a value, and as we can see here, the store type against store one is a. Now we can just drag the column, uh, drag the values here, but that is now how it will work. Reason being, as you can see, as we are shifting the formula, dragging the formula, our this store table is also moving downwards, which we don't want in our case. So first we have to fix the data range. So for that, what we'll do, we'll put a dollar sign against each of those values uh, here, and then 21. So as you can see, we have fixed the entire data range table here, so that all the values, the range of the data 2 remains static. So now if I drag my formula, as you can see here, my data range is fixed now. So we can drag it, and now we are done with this, and it is the type column. So we have understood all the four values, what they signify, but the last parameter, optional parameter, there's still one more thing we need to understand. We already know exact match means when the values exactly match. What it does in case of partial matches, for example, if we are, let's say we search for value, we are looking up for, let's say, ID 1. Um, okay, not ID 1. Let's say we are searching for ID 15, which we already know does not exist in our data. Oh, sorry, I think there's some problem. So let me just type it. Ma so yeah, we can press F4 to fix the ranges of our data table. So now automatically the dollar signs are there against each of those rows and column indices. Now the column just I'm going to pick store here. So I'll be passing 2 as column index. Now since we want to allow the partial match, I'm going to write true here. So since ID 15 does not exist in our data, ideally it should give us an error, but in our case it returned the best matching, uh, first matching values. But if here we put it as false, then it will give us NA because it did not find any exact match. But if we have to allow we have to allow partial matches, we will write it as true, and it will pick the value in which the lookup value has the first match, closest match, you can say. Okay, so this is all for today. Thank you very much. Hope you find it valuable, and please like if you like find it very valuable. Thank you very much. Bye bye.